Lovely, lovely people. A pleasant evening to everybody. Now, beautiful people. This morning I was just doing, some ironing, and I put my phone on TikTok and I came across a live, fairly young girl in her 30s. She was vlogging on the dangers of BBLs, and I was listening to her, and she said something that she kept repeating, and I said, she's absolutely right. Of the people, especially when you're I've heard of people in their teens, 18, 19, and then you have those in their 20s who are doing BBLs. And I started to think that is the age when you're now developing into your womanhood, into your adulthood stage, so you're leaving adolescence era, now coming into adulthood era. So you're still like a baby developing. It's like the cognitive development, similar to the cognitive development, the body development now is taking place. So you're becoming a woman. So you're in that developing stage and phase. And in my mind, if you're developing, you should allow the body to develop. So you move from developing to developed, without hindering the process through, I call it, unnatural means. And I said to myself, when she finished her vlog, I'm going to, her live, I'm going to vlog on, I'm going to look at the dangers of this particular risky surgery kind of cosmetic surgery, I should say. And one of the things I used to hear, sometimes you hear doctors speaking over the years, and I'm paraphrasing, they're not necessarily quick on doing even medical surgeries. They try to make it the last resort because of the possibility of infection. And, I know a lady told me that they did a surgery and something was left inside of her and it created a serious problem for her. And you hear the different horror stories. So I want those, especially those in their 20s, but anybody who considers doing BBL and not allowing the body to develop naturally, and to just eat healthily, exercise, and really take care of yourself in terms of your mental health and wellness. And one, it says the medical and physical dangers, high risk of fatality. The first thing speaks about high risk of death. It says the BBL has one of the highest death rates of any cosmetic surgery, estimated at 1 in 3,000 procedures. Death usually occurs when fat is accidentally injected into large veins, traveling to the lungs or heart and causing a fat embolism, which can be fatal within minutes. Mighty God. So you see the people who, for example, you notice what it talks, you see the dangers of fat. So sometimes I see some people on TikTok who, you know that they're obese, and you people are kind of encouraging the obesity when you see them constantly eating unhealthy foods. It's not good. It's not about just the aesthetic, how they look. It's about their health predominantly. Infection and sepsis, again, the same thing, which in terms of even medical surgeries. Non-sterile environments, meaning environments that are not, like you call it like 100% clean and, without any form of bacteria, or close to 100%. They always say can't get to the 100. It's even 99.99. But non-sterile environments or unqualified practitioners, which I've heard the stories that many people go to, can lead to severe infections, abscesses, and blood poisoning, sepsis. Have you seen when the blood is dark, black? It's like it's poisoned. Some women experience tissue necrosis, where parts of the skin or fat die due to poor blood supply. So maybe when you see it kind of getting shriveled up and then it just gets hard, maybe that's what it means. Blood clots, I didn't curse that bad word, blood clots and pulmonary embolism. Oh my God. The surgery involves long hours under anesthesia and immobility. So they knock you out completely to do this. Increasing the risk of deep vein thrombosis, DVT, or clots traveling to the lungs. Disfigurement and asymmetry. Post-surgery, Many women report uneven results, hard lumps, fat migration, or buttocks sagging over time. Boy, I heard a guy describing it like, you know, when the plane is landing and you see the wings of the plane coming down. Yeah, that's how he said he saw when he was giving the woman from behind, you know, not in her behind, but from behind, if you understand what I mean. The sight was not pretty, and she was a young girl. The transferred fat does not always take, meaning, it's what they say, the transferred fat does not always take in quotations. So this is what it means, meaning the results can fade, requiring repeat surgeries, and you know that will increase health risks. Because if they tell you medical surgeries, they don't really like doing it. It's a last resort. Can you imagine this? Long recovery and pain. Recovery can take months with inability to sit normally, persistent pain, swelling, and drainage tubes. And you have that maybe that probably must, it more than likely if you have drainage tubes, it probably create a smell as well, you know. Many young women underestimate the intensity of the healing process and post-surgical restrictions. Let's look at the psychological and emotional dangers now, because I dealt with the medical and the physical. Body dysmorphia and unrealistic standards. Many women in their 20s are still developing. See what I said? I just said it. They're still developing their self-image. Exposure to filtered social media bodies can create distorted ideals. The BBL often doesn't solve insecurities. Instead, it can fuel more dissatisfaction and pressure for further cosmetic changes. So they might do the boobs one, and when you look at it, you say, how it looks so. Your butt, how it looks so, your legs, your hands, your face, your nose, oh God, and you end up looking more like a scarecrow or a dung crow than a human being. You know what I mean? And the more you do it, I've seen it with somebody, the dysmorphia, oh my God. Dependency and comparison. Women may develop an addiction to surgery, or can you imagine, or an ongoing need for touch-ups, and that thing is very expensive. Goodness. Comparison with influencers or celebrities can lead to depression, anxiety, or low self-esteem, especially when results don't match expectations. Guys, those celebrities are millionaires or multi-millionaires or billionaires. You probably have a little shilling or two. Why would you try to compete? It's like me trying to compete with Usain Bolt in a race. I'd be crazy to do that, even now, when he still hasn't run. Why would I do that? That makes no sense. Regret and identity conflict. As women age, their perspectives, I've often said a 20-year-old does not think the same when they're 40. You just find yourself changing automatically, even without education, formal education. It's just, that's how it is. You can't stop it. It's like when we were babies, we couldn't speak. We couldn't make words out. Now that we're adults, we can speak. I can't go back and behave like I can behave like a baby, but the reality is that I can still speak language, not a baby thing. So I can gaga google a little more. You know, I'm big. So as women age, their perspectives, values, or lifestyles may change, but their surgical results remain permanent. Some feel regret or shame, particularly if they were influenced by external validation rather than personal choice. Financial exploitation and cosmetic tourism. Cheap clinics abroad. Many 20-somethings travel to countries like Rep, Mexico, or Turkey for cheaper BBLs. These clinics often operate without adequate regulation, safety oversight, or follow-up care, drastically increasing complications. This is what I'm reading. I don't know. Yeah, hidden costs. Beyond the surgery, there are recovery garments, medications, aftercare treatments, and potential corrective surgeries. Many spend thousands more over time than initially expected, sometimes leading to financial strain or debt. Social and cultural pressures. The Instagram body myth, the BBL ideal, small waist, large hips, and round buttocks is not naturally attainable for most women. It reinforces a narrow racialized beauty ideal, often inspired by hyper-sexualized representations of women's bodies in media. Guys, you need to rethink what you're doing, please. You know what to do, TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of those lions. Thank you.